Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, it is. It's 3:33 p.m. December 11, 2023. No, that wasn't intentional. It's 3:33. Monday, December 11, 2023. I'm going to do another Q&A, question and answer. And again, this was a question that was posed on Quora. And some of these questions are presented by, perpetrators, and some of them are presented by regular people, and others are true targeted people. But I find some of the answers to be really interesting, and that should be shared. Okay, so this is a Q&A, and I just want to give you a heads up that targets, who are the targets? They're me, you, everyone. Men, women, they go after your land. Intellectual property involves children, pets, animals, everyone. Everybody's a target. If you think that you're not, you just don't know it yet. Wake up, folks. But anyway, this is a question and answer. And the question is, are those involved in the gang stalking of a.k.a. compensated? So the individual who responded, his name is Rick Ray, and of course, we don't know if this is the name of the individual, but the response goes as follows. Gang stalking, also called state-sponsored organized stalking, is the method used by secret services to eliminate people. The purpose of gang stalking is to kill the victim either psychologically or physically. Gang stalking is mostly used in a combination with electronic weapons, at first by using very sophisticated monitoring equipment, which makes it impossible to keep an eye on someone every second of the day. But at a later stage, high-tech microwave weapons are used to burn, torture, the target. It has become very easy to kill. I need to say, it has been very easy to unalive people using electronic weapons. This has nothing to do with state security, but everything with mass unaliving. In effect, secret services have degenerated into a depot of psychopaths and murderers. Gang stalking, often accompanied by electronic harassment, also electronic torture, is used to cause the physical or mental death of the target. The target is driven insane and commits suicide, or collapses into a psychiatric patient, or commits a constructed, in parentheses, crime. This is called premeditated murder, and the ones participating are the murderers. Gang stalking is also called organized stalking, but it's better to call it organized, murder. See also Secret Service, fear for the truth to be revealed. And then he wrote in parentheses 17. I don't really know what this means. Maybe he's referencing something, but I didn't see a reference there. Gang stalkers and people cookers are murderers. The crimes they commit belong to the worst crimes in history. A very limited list of gang stalking, also known as organized stalking methods, are as follows. So let me scroll down here, folks. And by the way, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Okay, so here we go. Here are some of the organized stalking methods, some of which you already are aware of. And if you have something to add to this list, leave a comment down below. Sleep deprivation day by day. Social isolation. Always surrounded, never alone, no privacy. Neighbor stalking, rude behaviors from random people. Workplace mobbing, breaking of friendships. Character assassination, rumors spread. Oh yeah, that happened to me recently by a conspiracy underground individual who just happened to have a gorilla in his audience. Feedback about conversations nobody can know. Honking horns, shoving chairs, bouncing balls, shoes with high heels. I guess that would be, if you're in an apartment and you've got neighbors above you that are, walking around on hardwood floors with high heels. Receiving phone calls, emails, pop-up sounds, text messages at specific moments. Pigeons cooing, crows screaming, dogs barking on and off. Central heating and deep freeze on and off. Ticking against central heating components. So that would be like a ticking sound. Click, click, click. Coughing, slamming door, leaking tap. A neighbor's toilet visit, flushing. Stagnating DVD player or game console. Plock sound from water heater or a TV set or a roof. TV, radio program interference, manipulation, coughing. Black cats crossing. Alarm sounds in shops. Articles sold out. Other shop counter opens while waiting. You either get wrong or defective articles. I'm guessing what it means with articles are things that you purchase, items. Items are articles, okay, folks? So that would be items that are sold out. Items that you normally purchase are sold out intentionally. Blocking of traffic at every corner. Empty batteries, meaning the batteries are being drained. Traffic jams at important moments. Constructed car accidents on an empty highway. Police and hospital funeral cars around you. Blinking headlights, cars with one headlight or one rear light. Stones against a front car window. Cigarette butts. They delight in your suffering. They damage your belongings. Bird droppings on windows. Drilling at the neighbors and everywhere you go. Neighbors going up and down the stairs all the time. Well, I'll add neighbors driving up and down the county road on a remote rural community. Back and forth, horns honking, parking in front of my driveway, performing U-turns on my driveway, and then looking at me as if I had done something wrong. Or how about tearing down your gate with a John Deere tractor? Throwing sounds, saw machines outside, synchronized passing, women with baby wagons. Yes, I will add that a lot of people, at least in New Jersey, they would walk their dogs. People walk dogs, right? But they would only walk their dog in one direction, always past my house, and allow their dogs to poop without picking it up, which you're supposed to do in New Jersey. You're supposed to pick up your dog poop. They would leave it in front of my driveway. They would throw empty soda cans in my newly retrieved or picked up garbage by the garbage people. If I didn't get to my garbage pails in time, a neighbor would come out and throw empty soda cans in there. There are a lot of things. Obviously, you've heard them all. They will sick animals onto your property if you're a property owner. And I've mentioned before in other videos that if you rent versus own, you get different kinds of stalking and harassment. Like, high heels clicking wouldn't go... It would not go over around here. There's nowhere to go clicking high heels around here. I've never seen anybody wear high heels around here anyway. But, I would imagine in an apartment building, if somebody is walking above you and they're clicking high heels on a hardwood floor, that would be really annoying. Many people experience some of the above once or a few times. The victims of these crimes experience this day by day, 24/7. Many events are synchronized to the victims' movements. Often also electronic weapons are used, example, to prevent sleep or create plock sounds. I'm not sure what plock sounds. I guess I don't know what that is. This is an excellent accounting of the program. And I need to add the following The intentional infecting of the home with nanotechnology, spiders, ants, and mold. They poke holes in and around your windows and door sealers to allow the air to get in, and water. They harass pets with noise campaigns, infecting them with fleas, even if they're living inside. They pour urine on books sitting on a shelf. They burn and poison trees in the garden, especially stealing and infecting the food that you grow. They'll bleach your clothing, puncture holes, and stretch out your bras, panties, and leggings with technology that appears to disintegrate the fabric, even if it's new. I mean, I can go on and on with the list, but that's what I added to this person's response to, are those involved in the gang stalking of a TI compensated? Okay, he didn't actually answer the question. Okay, so I'm going to answer the question for you. Are they compensated? Well, I believe that at various levels they are compensated, and they're compensated differently depending on what they do. And it has been explained by whistleblowers that have come forward and said that yes, they are compensated. They're compensated in gift coins, Bitcoin, gift cards, Bitcoin, household appliances, the repayment of traffic tickets. If they have an offense on the record, their offense will be mitigated, lessened. They may be entitled to free legal services, like here in rural Kentucky with the county lawyer. Yeah, the perpetrators get free legal services, but the people who are the true crime victims don't. Yes, they will actually set up cyber stalkers to your social media to harass you. And are they paid for that? Do you think they do it for free? Well, I'm sure that some of them get off on it and receive sadistic pleasure. Many of them are addicts. Maybe they're compensated in the drug of choice. The drug of choice could be cigarettes. It could be energy drinks. It could be coffee. It could be anything. Maybe it's gift cards to go out on the town. Or maybe they're gift cards to the local restaurant. Maybe they have a privilege. Maybe they get to go to a concert. Or maybe they're just paid in cold, hard cash so that it's not traceable. Do you think that they pay taxes on their benefits? I heard from, I believe it was Karen Stewart that said, and I've heard this before, I think it was in a book, maybe it was by Mark Rich, don't quote me on that some of the higher paid, higher compensated perpetrators that are moved into the property around you can be compensated for $1,000 a month. Their mortgage might be paid. That's a lot of money, folks. There are people starving. There are people that can't pay their rents. But these criminals are getting paid under the table and not paying taxes? Well, guess what? Didn't they hire all those IRS people to go after those that don't pay their taxes? Maybe we should all start reporting our neighbors for not paying their taxes on the money that they're getting. What do you think, folks? How about InfraGard? Or how about those local Freemasons? How do you think they're getting paid? Oh, that's right. Maybe they're being paid through the COPS program. You know, that grant program? The Department of Justice. Department of Justice has a COP program. It's Citizens on Patrol. Well, guess what the Citizens on Patrol are doing? Do you think that they're monitoring the Citizens on Patrol? The Citizens on Patrol report to whom? Usually the Sheriff's Department. Of course they know who's involved. And what about those private contractors? You know that they're not working for free. They get paid a lot of money per hour. If you hired a private detective, it's quite costly. I did so in New Jersey. It was very expensive. I think for one or two times that he did something for me, it was over $600. That's right, folks. It's a lot of money. And then there is that website called Nefarious Jobs. It's called Jobs for a reason. People don't work jobs for free. So, guys, leave a comment down below. How much money do you think your perps are getting paid to harass you? Do you think it's per incident? Do you think it's per week? Do you think they get more money for getting a photo of you or in an altercation? You know, like the blessed one down the block who wanted to start a fight with me. And the thing is, they always preface, oh, this is the county road. Well, just because you're on the county road, but you're stalking me while I'm standing on my property. So what are the laws about stalking and harassment from a county road to an individual on their property? How does that differ? Inquiring minds like to know. So they're being trained and coached to say that. They're not smart enough to say it on their own. They're being told to say, well, this is the county road. Well, yeah, it is the county road. Well, guess what? Guess what? My property extends up to 15 feet into the county, in the middle of the county road. The county is supposed to, they're required to care for that. But if they don't, and I'm caring for it, then it's still my property. So get off my property. You're stalking me from the county road, which is my property. That's right. So anyway, yes, I wanted to add those things because a lot of people that don't own pets or farm animals or land or whatever, they see organized stalking through the lens of somebody else. It's sort of like if you're not a parent. If you're a non-parent, how could you see through the lens of a parent? Right? You don't know what that feels like. You don't know what it's like to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and have to nurse a child or lose your sleep or attend school meetings. Right? Yeah, you could say that you love children, but until you've raised one, you just don't know. You don't know what it's like to be a parent. You don't know what it's like when your daughter decides to go home with a friend and forgets to tell you, and you're waiting by the front door for the bus to show up and your daughter is not on the bus. Oh, yeah. Oh, I could tell you stories and stories. Yeah, sort of like the time that the day camp called me up and said, we can't find your daughter. It's like, excuse me, that's the only job you have is to keep track of my daughter. Yeah, we can't find her. Like, well, can you please find her? And then you call back and you're freaking out like they can't find my daughter. And she and her friend, her best friend, decide they didn't feel like being in camp that day and decided to wander back in the woods and like play with frogs and collect bugs and all kinds of weird stuff. Like, okay, thanks. Yeah, that's what it's like being a parent. It's sort of like being a targeted individual where you're always on high alert that something is going to go wrong. That the teacher's going to call you up one day and say, your daughter didn't show up for class because we found her here doing this with her friends and just she didn't feel like going to class today. Or, her coming home from school and saying, I left my homework on the kitchen table. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun being a parent sometimes. But yeah, so that's what it's like. If you don't live in an apartment, you don't know what it's like. If you're not a parent, you don't know what it's like to be a parent. So I'm just saying that there are different perspectives for different people. So I applaud this person for his response based upon his perception and what he experienced on a physical level. What I experience on a physical level with my quote-unquote gang stalking differs from a lot of people. Although there are people that chime in who have chickens and pets who leave a lot of excellent information. So I have a Facebook page called Targeted Pets. You're welcome to leave questions and comments there. I don't visit very often, maybe a couple of, times a month. But I have posted a lot of photos there. I do answer some questions. And people have contacted people for the ethical treatment of animals and leave information there. So when they torture your animals, when they're harassing your animals, that is animal cruelty, is animal abuse. It doesn't matter if you're targeted or not. It is a thing. And if you call the dog catcher in rural Kentucky and they're non-responsive to neighbors violating the law, well, that's a serious problem, folks. That's why you need to report it at a higher level. So anyway, that's another thing that needs to be added. Okay, so he didn't answer the question about whether or not gang stalking of a targeted person is compensated, but he does mention a very long list of the methods utilized. Some other methods are flying drones over your property and dropping what appears to be aerosols, poisons, toxins. There are a lot of home break-ins. There's a lot of theft. It's asset stripping. It's a lot of gaslighting. And law enforcement doesn't help. They're in on it. They're told to step aside, and rather than do their jobs, which according to Stephen Friends, the FBI suspendable whistleblower, in his book and podcasts, he says specifically that sheriff departments do not have to go along with this program. They are above, they're actually above the county lawyer. They don't report to the county lawyer. They do not have to participate with these private contractors, fusion center operatives, but they choose to. They don't have to have a cops program in their neighborhood. These people are committing crimes, not preventing it. And crime escalates in every neighborhood that there's a targeted person. And those crimes are not reported. They're not accurately reported. They're not reported in the crime statistics. So I'm going to rest my case there. And I'm sure you guys have more things to add to the list. And also, I know for a fact that the local neighbors in Manalapan, New Jersey, when I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, that my neighbors suddenly had all new appliances, all on the same day. It was a bizarre. So they were all receiving like new washers, dryers, stoves, dishwashers, etc. all on the same day. But I'm going to sign off for now. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Please hit the thumbs up. And yes, I did create a backup channel. I won't have too much there, but I created it just to have it. It's called Alternative Homesteading 2. But rather than Alternative Homesteading being separated as two words, it's all one word with the number 2. And so far, I think 7 or 8 people have subscribed. But, you know, feel free to subscribe to it. And again, it's just, you know, a backup to this channel. And I'm going to thank YouTube. This is a shout out to YouTube for reviewing the Global Thuggery reading of the book video and stating that it does not violate their guidelines for medical misinformation. The creature that reported it is a creature. And it just happens to be the almost annual anniversary of the first time he started harassing me. So now he's got an accomplice, this conspiracy person. But that's okay, conspiracy person. You've been reported 5 times so far. Keep it up. I'll have your channel removed. Since I'm not the only person that you harass. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, exposing one criminal at a time.